wanted to say that Dace and I have been writing together for a long time. Just like met in a coffee shop that we went to all the time, then ended up having classes together, then started open mic reading together, and are just great pals, and he's really inspiring to me. And Wendy, I met through Richard, but we went to the same high school, which is just wild. And we went on tour together, spent a lot of time together now. It's really wild. We have like similar writing styles. It's just like, it feels nice to meet someone after college. That means a lot to me. Richard I met because of the open mics that Jason and I started. We contacted Boxford Books that you heard about to do the open mics, and that's Richard I met. And then he just like kind of took me in, I feel like, and introduced me to Wendy. And then Alan and I had a few classes together, just got to be good friends. We worked for the Writers' Conference with Bob Bledsoe back there. Just became good pals. I'm just really glad that they're here tonight. They mean a lot to me. Richard did all of the artwork for the book and the inside formatting, which is beautiful in its own. He's very talented. I feel like this is more his book than mine, honestly. It's just like files on my computer, and he's like, you want to make a book out of it? So I just set a bunch of files, and he did it. And so, to me, it's more Richard's book than mine. Man, I don't know what I'm going to read. This is like never, I'll just start from the beginning. That seems. This is about my best friend who joined the Air Force. And it's written in code, called Letter to Private Stephen Ambrosini, Lackland, Texas Air Force Training Base, April 3rd, 2014. Dear Steve, I'm glad the Burger King in San Antonio is good. I was worried. Did you hear about the Easter hunts at the fort 2 towns away? Or did they spit something like, that shit's for kids and Marys? But either way, reminds me of a Polaroid of my sister and me. We're on the lap of a man hiding in a giant rabbit suit. I think we're at the mall. The photo is comical in a sort of unnerving way, like when there are adult jokes in Disney movies, or when you pick a box turtle off the road and his legs keep rowing slowly nowhere. It's bizarre, isn't it? The things that hide in plain view until we're old enough. Steve, I heard this kind of thing can happen in our 20s. Steve, have you ever cracked open an egg and there was blood? Steve, have you ever opened one and there was a half chick moored in the yolk? When my sister was 24, she was chewing when a piece of her gums fell out. She mistrusted the dental industrial complex, kept brushing, eating sugars, everything in the bowl was raw. Steve, sometimes she makes sense to me. Sometimes when she calls, everything starts to smell funny. Do you think adults made us cruel? I think maybe grown rabbits are real. Steve, do you feel alone? Tell me if the air starts to sizzle. Steve, hide from tornadoes. Steve, you've got your gun. I'm afraid there's a bone in the yard that someone will pick up. Woo! This is a self-portrait. Actually, see, the thing now is I feel like I can talk. Because like usually like it's really tacky to go too long, but it's my own reading thing. When I was in college, I wrote like a lot of like confessional poetry. Like my whole thesis was confessional poetry. And then when I got out of college, I decided like I needed to stop. So I took an old poem and then I like tried to erase myself from it entirely and make a new poem out of it because I was stuck and I didn't know what to do. So this is the result of that. Almost all these poems are from the year after I graduated. Self-study and anthropomorphism, kitchen pot. Some things go without explanation, and it's enough. A kitchen pot is only a sheepish threat to silence, remember? Creatively, a faceless drum or a mirror for ghosts. There's something always deficient about it, and that's fine, the way it's supposed. Wonder what space is made of, and if it's shiny, or one absolute slip that falls so far. Is it slick or murderous? A girl looped in the afternoon's parenthetical hour. They say everything's sexed. Misunderstood, a pot is an infantile weapon, otherwise it must be filled and emptied to be itself, and I don't understand my body so much of the time. I hate what they've said about it. Vessel. Like that could be anyone. No, no. My reflected soul. Let it drop over an elevator shaft and never touch a wall. Just the quick of silver plunging like the moon. No, no. I want to be the dark, so slick they'll never see through. Okay, here's another self-portrait that I wrote after withdrawing from grad school. It's sarcastically titled Portrait of an Artist at 24. I was unhappy with my mind, so I sought higher learning. I was unhappy with my thoughts, so I bought better ways of thinking. I was unhappy with my reverence, so I turned critical. I was unhappy with my arrogance, so I tried to starve it. I was unhappy with my curled lip, so I turned absurdist. I was unhappy with my art, so I ate it. I was unhappy with my fatness, so I offered it. I was unhappy with men, so I tricked them. I was unhappy with my irreverence, so I worshipped myself. I was unhappy with my inability, so I turned into it. I was unhappy with my stillness, so I set promises. I was unhappy as a text, so I killed it easy. I was unhappy as nothing, so I started pretending. I was unhappy with my left brain, so I crossed it. I was unhappy with my imbalance, so I built a mirror box. Easy. So I sit inside it. If I move my head like this, it will fill itself. Easy. I was unhappy with my mind. It's fine. Didn't need school anyway. Again, I want to thank the other readers for reading. Also, I know it's probably nerve-wracking to read in front of other people's families, and then my family's here. So thanks for doing that. This one is about my family. It's called Origins. Oh, and no. No, in a good way. No problem. I know I am German because a ladder twists my blood and those letters were built in German. I know I am German because Gottschlich translates to godlike and the hard sound of spit in English. I know because time disperses these meanings like blonde hair from sunlit infancy, though mine kept its color because 60 years ago in Lona, my grandmother harvested wheat of that same golden shade, but the strawberry in her hair is gone and I can't know where. I know I am German because their words I began the same book as long list of Bertha. But am I still Gottschlich, and can time misspell? Correct this. Search the grocery store. The rungs of gleaming aisles, like observation rooms, where Freud und Marx studieren my fetishes. I will have the strawberries from a commercial farm in California. Ik wil de strawberry off my grandmother's hair. I will this confusion fruit. Ik will a proper origin. There is my ladder. I have lost my grip. I know I'm German because my immigrant grandfather ports cement for the Chicago suburbs, because my father once worked in those wet driveways and in-ground pools, because mein Vater climbed out, ended Gottschlich's cement business to attend college, where he met meinem Lehrer, studier books in Wörter that I cannot max mein. I know ich bin Deutsch. Mein Vater taught me the verb teiligen. It means both separate and share. Because letters twist into names and bodies that separate Janieren into Stubier und Tochter das Heiligen. Meine goldene Haare, Großmutter, ist es immer noch dein? Your ladder, Großvater, it is rot, it is rot, es ist rot, es ist rot, es ist rot, es ist rot. That's the Vater over there. Oh shoot. Okay, two more? Oh, okay.
Read them all.
It's really short, but tiny spine.
Are you going to read void sets?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. No, I'll do that one now. Yeah. This is the last poem. It's a little bit longer, but then I'll end with a short one. It's in sections. I sang happy birthday into your voicemail box. You finally set it up. The sincerity of your voice on recording felt stunning. I liked the part when you sounded breathless and hurried to go somewhere. That, I guess, has already happened. At the time, it fooled me. Too, I guess. A void set is a code element without content. Examples include BR, break, and IMG, image. A developer writes them in, and they won't show in the surface content. Because, and not because of this, void sets do not have the capacity for sadness, but I worry they are sad. This is not rational. Quiet stagehands and aren't I capable of terrible things? 3. A glitch in understanding doesn't know what it causes. Nothing bothers me more than nothing bothers you. There's an empty set between rational and irrational processing. For example, in 1930, social behavior studied a group of relay room operators. For 5 years, they recorded every meal the women ate, the hours they slept, events personal in nature, and measured their rates of efficiency. They asked the managers to improve working conditions. They asked the managers to return the original conditions. The girls increased in productivity from being studied. This is called the Hawthorne effect. 1 physical ton of unusable data. In a text message, you said you would call back on Sunday. 4. It is likely that the world's most beautiful songs have not been heard. How does this make you feel? I feel my weight take its physical shape. This is not rational. You find out from Facebook that I have a boyfriend or you don't. I'll tell you. Last Saturday, he played me a songwriter named R. Stevie Moore. Moore has self-released over 400 cassettes, CDs, and digital albums. One couldn't get through his work in a lifetime. Most of it can't be tracked down. Ben likes this and doesn't. 5. In design school, we learned there's an infinite amount of false starts the user can take. In Michigan, There is a museum of failed grocery store products. LSD and college can release the hormones necessary to trigger some mental illnesses. Bad stagehands. What's true? Search. Gestalt. Slopes to nowhere. Retinal blind spots. Search. How to learn you. 1 physical ton. 6. Today I sit in my towel and listen to songs that I used to know how to play. Arthur Rubinstein plays Chopin. Michelle plays Rubinstein plays Chopin. This is called a cascading file. At best I can claim authorship of original failure, or at best I can claim authorship to cruelty. My phone says, I missed your call. Where did it go? Last night I slept alone. I wanted to tell you I waited for a stranger to wander out of the wall. This is not rational. 7. A void set is a code element without content or an ending tag. Dad told us carpenters sometimes write their names on interior beams. In college, you got sick, and inside a switch flipped dark. Happy birthday, dear sister. I woke up saying a word I couldn't remember. Okay, let's make this the last one. I'll just say, the way, now after like it being a year since all these poems were written, I have like some perspective, and I like to think of them as being half letters to like people I love that are like too hard to send, or half dreams, because I have a lot of weird, I've gotten in the habit of waking up halfway from dreams, and then like either I start talking and I like see my room but I'm still dreaming, or I get sleep paralysis now, which runs in the family on my dad's side, but both of them being like, I don't know, just like trying to make sense when you're like kind of like half awake or half able to speak legibly. But this is one, this actually happened. My friend was in Spain, and he posted this really funny picture of an ad that you can't like, I couldn't understand what the text in the ad was, but there's like this really serene elderly woman sitting in a chair, but she had this big zipper down her body that was unzipped, which is really gross. And then there's like a really young Sprite woman jogging out of her body. I assume it's for like an energy drink or like some sort of like anti-aging something. I don't know. It was in Spanish or Portuguese. I'm not sure what it was in. But in any case, I saw the ad I think right before falling asleep, and then I had like a weird half dream about it because I woke up partially. So this will be my last poem, and thank you, Indy Reads, and my family and all my friends and everyone for coming. It means a lot. It makes me feel really good. This is called After Seeing an Ad of a Young Woman Jogging Out of the Unzipped Body of an Older Woman on Instagram, but also a lot of other things from the day. I wake up halfway from a dream again and ask Ben, did you see it? It's a happy thing that he's here suddenly, though he has been all night. What are you talking about? I can't remember. I don't sleep well, or I don't finish most things. Sunbather, buoys, and too much salt in the water. Oil slicks, blocks of fly paper. I leave all the computer screens open. What are you talking about? Imagining now that maybe one night she'll slip out. I'll stay in place, but she will. Some light dart, never sick, carted everywhere in my complacent pull-out beds. When I wake up again, half dreaming. She runs away, saying over her shoulder, thief. What are you talking about? Neither do I. It doesn't make sense. A horse doesn't just freeze in a field. I want him to check the round door of my pupil before he starts to pull up the quilts.